So what's the score between the WWE and NXT war? I don't know, but it's very, very, very lopsided. I think WWE has 1 point on NXT, and that's because of Elias. But don't worry, WWE will be sure to ruin that 1 point they have over NXT when Cena gets done with him, because all along it will be shown that Cena is the be-all end-all of the measuring stick of WWE main rosterville, and NXT guys are just toys to him. And he'll throw away later. So, there was also a series of NXT awards. I went ahead, made my votes. I mostly voted for Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black when they had things related to them. Also, Kairi Sane, I voted for her to be Breakout Star of this year. She actually liked my tweet, so I call that an achievement. Oh, and I also got one of the Young Bucks to like the shirt I posted on Twitter regarding me buying the Too Sweet censored out of protest for WWE mentality and the fact that I just freaking love the Bullet Club. So, moving on from that, let's get to the opening match. The Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain, aka Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And this takes place in NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, so clearly, what's the best way to open the show? With a Paul Heyman video. Yeah, Paul Heyman actually dresses NXT, talking about how it's not time to reflect on the past, instead look forward to the future. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if he was secretly thinking that NXT reminds him a lot of ECW. Specifically because ECW focused on a hardcore market, NXT focuses on a hardcore market, and look how that market is doing, kicking the casual mainstream fans' asses regarding WWE main rosterville. Though I'm pretty sure that's because WWE has a horrible booking committee. So, yeah, the Undisputed Era and the Authors of Pain, it was a pretty good match. It was, like, I had a feeling it'd probably be the, quote, second worst match, though really it wouldn't to me. I thought Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler would be the, quote, worst match of the night. Though, when I say worst match, how about this? I mean worst of the best. But instead, the Authors of Pain and the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, actually put on a very high-paced, aggressive style matchup. Like, there were a lot of moments where I couldn't catch a breath. Like, yeah, and I thought for sure one of the Authors of Pain, I still cannot get one of their names. Like, I know their names is Akam and Razor, but I don't know which is which. I get confused with that. One of them seemed to have tweaked their leg, which I knew either A, this is legit, or B, this is to serve a plot point. Oh, look, it served a plot point. Because the Undisputed Era would get a roll-up after causing a miscommunication between the Authors of Pain, and surprisingly, Paul Ellering did not get involved in this. And surprisingly, the show did not have Sanity in one of the matches. Like, I was expecting Sanity to get involved, to have a match on the show. I like anything to see Nikki Cross at least, and Killian Dane. But moving on. So, the Undisputed Era retained their NXT Tag Team Championship because they had defeated Sanity right before the end of the year, of last year, because they had defeated Sanity to win the NXT Tag Team titles. I think this was in November. So, yeah, like I said, this was a pretty damn good match. Really enjoyed it. And, okay, I'm convinced the Authors of Pain are next to move on to the main roster. I don't know if Paul Ellering will be joining them. That's debatable. Like, in NXT, he only had to be in one place when the traveling thing when the traveling thing happens. Paul Ellering really just had to be at the NXT show, live network shows, and that's pretty much it. He only had to travel outside of that area like once every couple of months. So, Paul Ellering going to travel again week to week to week to week. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know if he'll do that again. Not sure, but the Authors of Pain are guaranteed to move up to main rosterville. And I mean horribly downgraded. I probably wouldn't be surprised if they banned their powerbomb tag team maneuver because of what happened with Samoa Joe and Tyson Kidd. Like, they got rid of the Muscle Buster when he got called up, which does lead to the question, why was Samoa Joe allowed to use the Muscle Buster in NXT even after what happened with Tyson Kidd? But, wait, that doesn't... Yeah, I'm still confused by that. So, yeah, the Undisputed Era was mainly the dominant faction of the night. They had 2 matches. Another one would be Aleister Black versus Adam Cole of Undisputed Era, and I'll get to that soon. Then we got Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. Oh no! Actually, we got a little bit of progress in the storyline between Velveteen Dream and Cassius Ohno on the pre-show. No! The pre-show is being used to advance storytelling! Where Velveteen Dream, after accepting his NXT award for Rivalry of the Year, which I kept advocating that Velveteen Dream should really get the one to get the trophy, because let's be honest, even though Aleister Black won the match, really, Velveteen Dream won the war. Like, could you really imagine something like this happening on the main roster where the heel actually wins a feud but still loses the match? That would be so foreign to Vince, in my opinion. Like, Velveteen Dream had said that he wanted to make a name for himself, and he wanted Aleister Black to say his name. He got both. But he still lost the match, but he managed to get both what he wanted out of it. That is a rare achievement in the WWE, especially on main rosterville. So, Velveteen Dream declared that he would take down Cassius Ohno within 30 seconds, and the fans are once again invested in the show like all the time, where they start counting up to 30 when Velveteen Dream and Cassius Ohno are fighting. And here's the thing that I don't think anyone, when I was on Twitter looking at the live tweets from people who are commenting on the show, since I follow a lot of wrestling fans and some wrestling sites that also do live tweets of it, Velveteen Dream said this. He said he would take down Cassius Ohno. He never said he would defeat Cassius Ohno. And Velveteen Dream knocked him down within 20 seconds. Yeah, he really didn't fail. He actually got the victory by that extension, if you really think about it. So really, Velveteen Dream once again carried out his threat and delivered. And I was like, okay, who came up with this? I want to know who wrote this idea, because this is brilliant. Please tell me it was Ryan Ward, because he got demoted again and got sent back to NXT, even though a demotion there is like a privilege to everybody else. Oh, it's another group of writers? Oh, okay. So, Velveteen Dream has practically already won this match. Within 20 seconds, he's already delivered on his promise and won the match, in my opinion. But we still got an additional 10 minutes and 25 seconds. So, yeah, this match was 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Cassius Ohno, okay, I'm just not connected with this guy. Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, I just don't feel it. I just don't connect. Like, he's good in the ring. He's really awesome in the ring. I'll give him that. But for some reason, the way he's dressed doesn't seem to fit right. And the way he just looks, like, I'm overweight, so I'm not one to judge on that. But his weight doesn't, like, stand out. It's just more like, it seems a little uncomfortable. Like, it's not even like Kevin Owens' stature, where partly could be because he wears a shirt all the time, but his is more covering, whereas Cassius Ohno seems more tucked in, exposing more of his appearance. But yeah, his physique, yeah, like, I'll give him credit that he's really able to do all these awesome things, and the stiff kicks he always delivers, yeah, that has really gotta hurt. Like, really hurt. Every time I hear a crack when he does those kicks, it's like, Oh, okay, yeah, I'm surprised the teeth has not been pulled out yet because of those kicks. So, yeah. So Velveteen Dream surprisingly gets this win, and I'll talk about Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream at a later date. Like I said, I don't watch the tape shows. I kind of stopped, but I did hear some great things about that match. But I'll get to that at a later day when I get the time. Velveteen Dream the Velveteen Dream experience is in full swing. We can now look forward to the year of Velveteen Dream, hopefully, in NXT, or the age of the Velveteen Dream, because I know it's not going to be a year, but I'm willing to hope on that, before he gets horribly put on the main roster, because Bayley's no longer getting pushed because Vince apparently does not get Bayley's gimmick. Really? She's basically John Cena, but would occasionally show an aggressive edge. And has more personality than Cena. You do know how that works, right? Okay. So, that makes me say, so what's stopping Vince from looking at Velveteen Dream and saying, I don't get it? Like, you could look on the internet. I know that's hard for you to do because you don't like it, but apparently it's inspired by the Prince. The musician, the Prince Rogers Nelson, passed away in 2016. You would have to know this. But anyways, and especially since the fact that this is the guy from the 1950s, so Vince's mentality should still be able to operate with that. And he got famous around between the 1970s to all the way up to the day he died. Rest in peace. But Vince should be able to grasp that easily, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. So Velveteen Dream gets the win. I am hoping for a NXT title run. I want him to win the NXT Championship. It is awesome. I demand it. I demand it. He is awesome. And this is the guy who came in thinking like, could this gimmick really work? Like, it's NXT. I wanted to give it a chance. Could this really work? Well, any gimmick could probably work. Okay, let me rephrase that. Most gimmicks can work, but you need to have the right pool of talent into it. Velveteen Dream has succeeded in all parts on that. So, yeah, I'm hoping Velveteen Dream gets this big push, and yet Cassius Ohno, I think he's going to be more like a practical opening jobber guy for the younger talent. I think that's his fate in NXT. I'm like, and being more like a guide to the younger talent instead of, getting main event pushes and whatnot in NXT. I'm like, it's not the worst position he could be in, but it'd be much worse. He could be practically doing nothing on the main roster, doing shows that no one will watch. Like, main event. Like, I don't know a single person that watches on there. In fact, Bleacher Report doesn't even give grades on there, as far as I know, so yeah, he's probably just going to be forgotten in people's eyes if he was on just main event. So, let's get to a match that really shared some distinguishes with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm not saying the amount of talent they have, that's a different matter, but I'm thinking more like how they cut in line. Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship. Oh, and by the way, Sam Roberts got his prediction wrong. All the NXT champions retained their titles, so I'll get to Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano in a moment. But yeah, Shayna Baszler had recently debuted in NXT as part of her WWE reveal, and originally it was said that they were going to do the 4 Horsewomen versus the 4 Horsewomen of WWE versus the one versus from UFC, and a colossal 8-women tag team matchup, which I practiced. That would sound pretty freaking awesome, but yeah, apparently that plan has been scrapped. 2 of them are no longer in the wrestling business right now, or they're taking a break. So Shayna Baszler was moved to NXT. I thought she was going to feud with Kairi Sane. Like, it was starting to look like that because there's some, you could make the argument there's some unfinished business between her and Kairi Sane because, you know, their past encounter at the Mae Young Classic. So, yeah, I was a little surprised by that they didn't make a match out of that at TakeOver. But I did like that they actually put in her MMA style formula matchup into this, but yeah, she has to work a 10-minute and 6-minute match. 10 and 6 minutes. 10 minutes and 6 seconds, everybody. Ember Moon has to work with this style that I don't know if she's ever worked with before, but I think Sonya Deville, but she wasn't. I don't think she was a full-fledged UFC fighter. I don't know. I think I might be wrong on that. And like, I did cover them in the Absolution debut video and the Riot Squad, but who knows? I could just look it up, but we're talking about NXT TakeOver Philadelphia right now. So Ember Moon, there were like 2 instances I was thinking Shayna Baszler would win this match. Like, Ember Moon gets her finisher, her arm is all busted because of Shayna Baszler's stiffer style in wrestling. I was honestly thinking she was going to lose the match, and that didn't happen. And I also thought Shayna Baszler would probably ultimately make a huge comeback with this. She was looking like she was doing that, but surprisingly, Ember Moon gets a roll-up pin and actually gets the 1-2-3, and I was like surprised, like, wow, Shayna Baszler lost? This is her first loss in NXT. I'm generally surprised by that. So that was an interesting twist. But Shayna Baszler, knowing that she just lost in the most humiliating fashion after she just broke someone's arm and yet they still kicked their ass, decides to do the only logical thing in her mind. Charge at her and beat the crap out of her and choke her out. So, yeah, that was clearly a good idea. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to be next for her. She might look like she's going to continue her feud with Ember Moon at the next TakeOver. Probably in New Orleans. It's going to be in the next TakeOver is in New Orleans before WrestleMania. So we all know which show's going to end up winning in the end. I can't believe I had to say that. But moving on. Ember Moon, she tried to do the best she could to work this style with Shayna Baszler. I know I'm trying to pronounce her name right. I am sorry if I got it wrong. But for what we got, it was an okay matchup. It was pretty good for what it was, but really, yeah, some people were saying that 2 matches were crippling the show. Those 2 matches, Velveteen Dream and KO versus Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. I honestly thought they were alright matches. But then we get to the meat of the package. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, baby! In an Extreme Rules match. Okay, yep, I'm guaranteeing it. This is going to be awesome. So, Aleister Black and Adam Cole, awesome entrances as always, doing what they can. Oh, I forgot to mention about Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. I think it was Kyle O'Reilly. He imitated Hulk Hogan's title belt air guitar maneuver that he did when he was the cocky, arrogant Hollywood Hogan in WCW, an early WWE run in 2002 and 2003. But, yeah, that was kind of funny. Granted, it's Hogan related, so I can't give it complete props for a variety of reasons. But yeah, Adam Cole and Aleister Black. Okay, we only had, I think, if my recollection is correct when it comes to a TakeOver at least, we've only had 1 proper no DQ match, and that was between Baron Corbin and Rhino, and that wasn't really the best, and they barely utilized their weapons. So I was hoping for Aleister Black and Adam Cole because they have done crazy things in the independent scene. And I didn't mention this regarding Candice LeRae when she signed. She's also an intergender wrestler. She wrestles against men. And she's wrestled Adam Cole. Wow. Well, take away that interesting element about her, she's gonna go ahead and fight women now. Exclusively for in WWE, because, you know, a man and a woman fighting against each other, even though that has been done before, clearly cannot happen. At least according to Vince's logic, but regardless, even though there have been some women like Sasha Banks saying that they want to do intergender matches and try to continue what China left off with, I don't see that happening. I don't even think Triple H will do it. But moving on from that, so Aleister Black and Adam Cole, that was awesome. That was probably my favorite Extreme Rules match out of all of them in WWE. I think the only match that could probably beat it is RVD versus Hardcore Holly for a variety of reasons. But yeah, Aleister Black and Adam Cole, they were awesome. Freaking awesome. They threw everything but the kitchen sink, which would have been hilarious if they did that, because in ECW they actually did do that. They actually did bring a kitchen sink. Some fan with a bring your weapon to a matchup thing. Yeah, they brought in a kitchen sink and they used it. Yeah, I'm still amazed by how they got that. They dismantled their sink, or they found one in the dumpster and they just dragged it to ECW house show and they just said, use it, damn it! To get rid of the everything but the kitchen sink cliche, so they just say, everything must go! But yeah, Aleister Black and Adam Cole, they were freaking awesome. It was a pretty awesome matchup, and had the main event not really stole the show or be a match of the year candidate, this would have been it. But, oh, and finally, Sandy finally showed up at the show, attacking, you know, fellow Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly when they tried to screw Aleister Black. Also, there was a moment where Adam Cole was showing blood on his hands, and I was like, wait, when did that happen? Yeah, when the fuck did that happen? I don't recall a moment where they were bleeding. And, like, I didn't see blood on Aleister Black until, like, the very end, where there was a big red patch on his back. I thought that was a part of his tattoo, but it got redder and darker, so I assumed, yeah, he's bleeding. So, yeah, I don't know where Adam Cole was getting the blood from, because that showed up, like, near the end of the match. Where Adam Cole had the blood during the middle of the match. So they threw everything in this match, destruction, carnage, everything in its wake. It was a bloodbath, so to speak, but without the intense blood that usually comes with an ECW style match in Philadelphia of all places. But that didn't stop the fans from chanting just at the sight of a steel chair from Adam Cole to scream out, ECW! 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 In fact, I was really hoping that guy who wore the hat and Hawaiian shirt showed up. That would have actually been freaking hilarious. But sadly, that's not meant to be. I don't even know what happened to him. But yeah, Aleister Black and Adam Cole, pretty awesome, most awesome match I've seen. And I thought there was no way the main event could beat that. Like, we've seen Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano before, but we never seen at the level they performed at. Oh, and Aleister Black won the match after a black mass hitting the chair thing to Adam Cole. And yeah, I want them to main event each other. I want them to fight each other again. Just do it. Do it. And then I looked up Aleister Black's weight, like, okay, how much weight does he have? Okay, he's 10 pounds over the 205 limit. So unless Vince tries to force him to lose weight, he's not 205 inbound. Okay, we might have a chance still for him on main rosterville, but even then, I'm still scared. And during the show, I didn't mention this, but we got not only your obvious going to show up in NXT soon, Ricochet, War Machine, now we revealed that they are not going to lose their copyrighted names, so basically, hurrah for them, and Candice LeRae, but we also saw EC3, Ethan Carter III, who had recently left TNA, and now he keeps his EC3 initials, and is now returning to NXT. So we're going to get all these people, War Machine, Ricochet, Candice LeRae, and EC3. Now, if only we could get Rockstar Spud. Like, he's signed with WWE, there's just something going on. I seriously hope that he shows up in NXT instead of being on the 205 division. Because that would be freaking awesome to see them continue their relationship they were doing back in TNA. That would be really funny. But, and Bobby Lashley might just be in, at the Royal Rumble on Sunday. So, ready for that. So, yeah, Aleister Black. But back to Aleister Black and Adam Cole. I didn't care who would win this match. If Aleister Black won, good for him. Adam Cole won, good for him. But I didn't care who would lose this match. I really didn't. I know they're going to go somewhere. They'd be dumb if they weren't going somewhere in NXT. But I get why Aleister Black won, because I think they're grooming him for the NXT title run that he's going to eventually get. So, looking forward to that. And now let's get to the main event. Andrea Cien Almas versus Johnny Wrestling freaking Gargano for the NXT Championship. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Remember Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura and how awesome everyone loved that match? There was a chant from the audience. That was the first time chant for me hearing it on a takeover. They were yelling out, "Fight forever! Fight forever! Fight forever!" And ladies and gentlemen, Andrea Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano got that same chant that night. Yep, Andrea Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano produced a WrestleMania-worthy quality match of the year, match of the weekend, practically buried the Royal Rumble into the dirt. Classic. 32 minutes and 34 seconds was given to this. And I was honestly surprised. Like, wait, Andrea Cien Almas? Like, I get Johnny Gargano, but Cien Almas produced an awesome legendary type matchup? My God! That's freaking awesome. And Johnny Gargano had his family backstage. He had his wife Candice LeRae there. Yeah, it was. I knew she was gonna get involved. I was curious, like, but then there was moments in the match where I thought maybe she's not gonna get involved. Yeah, like maybe she's gonna let her husband try to fight this battle himself or something, or she probably thinks her husband doesn't want her to get involved yet. But yeah, Zelina Vega. Yeah, when she tried to screw him over, Johnny Gargano again, she said "fuck it" and proceeds to beat the crap out of her. And there were tons of times I thought Johnny Gargano got a severe concussion because of all those spots, the bumps he took. But I'm glad. I hope he's all right. But yeah, this was incredible. Oh God. And I once again have to say, could you really imagine the WWE main rosterville doing this kind of matchup with guys who aren't a John Cena, aren't a Roman Reigns, aren't a Randy Orton? Okay, scrap the Randy Orton part. I'm not even going to try and mention Brock Lesnar as a potential candidate because he doesn't give two shits. So, yeah. So unless it's John Cena or Roman Reigns, could you really imagine the other guys and gals being given that kind of time and work that kind of matchup? Especially to get a fight forever chant? Because this was a freaking awesome match. Everything about it was perfect. And here's the thing. I know this is going to sound crazy. I wouldn't change it. And not because Like, I've had matches where I said I wouldn't change it, but that's usually because I got a satisfactory conclusion out of it. No. Instead, they built up Johnny Gargano like this redemption process he was going through, and how he was trying to earn his way back to the top and try and find himself following Tommaso Ciampa's betrayal, who plays a factor later. So, not only does he have this psychological problem with himself because Tommaso Ciampa betrayed him and destroyed many years of friendship, now he's having this losing streak, and certain wrestlers are using his psychological damage issue to further get their own victories out of him. And the way they've been building him up, yeah, you would think that this is going to end with him winning the title. No! He doesn't win the title. Everything in this match, from Candice LeRae fighting for her man against Zelina Vega, to all the numerous attempts to screw him over, he doesn't win the match. He still loses. And I was like, that is a pretty ballsy move. Like, you had Johnny Gargano lose, even though everyone wanted him to win. Everyone wanted to see him win. There was a story. You built it up. It's like the alternative ending to Sami Zayn versus Neville. Like, imagine if Sami Zayn had lost that match. He would have left NXT and went up to the main roster. But that's not the case this time. We instead get the ending where the Sami Zayn would technically lose the match through Johnny Gargano, and Andreas Cien Almas lives to win that with that title for another day. There is nothing I would change in this matchup. This was perfect. Like, freaking perfect. And like, to add more insult to the already damaged injury that Johnny Gargano clearly has, emotionally, physically, at the end of the show, when it looks like it was going to go to credits, even though everyone knows at this point that NXT doesn't do that system, they instead show Tommaso Ciampa striking Johnny Gargano with a crutch. Ooh, that has got to hurt. Physically and emotionally. Like, not only did you just lose your big matchup, your redemption act, but you also got struck by your former best friend again from behind. And Tommaso Ciampa, he was freaking crazy. Like, he only struck him once, but his eyes told the story. Sir, we're getting physical acting! Physical acting! And like I said, if Johnny Gargano won that match and won the title, we would have gotten that as the main event in NXT TakeOver New Orleans. That actually would have been freaking awesome. But I'm still pretty impressed that they went ahead and did this direction with Cien Almas beating Johnny Gargano, despite the fact that everything was built up for Johnny Gargano to win. And even crazier, the way they ended it, like he gets a standing ovation. Like, he already knows he's emotionally going to be not recovering from this, because not only did he lose the match, all that hard work he felt would be put to waste, since he thought if he wins this match, he wins his redemption in his mind. But then he gets struck by his former best friend in the back with a crutch, and his wife has to hold him down because he's in pain. And then I heard her say at the end of the show that you're bleeding from your back, and I was like, okay, I know they're trying to sell a story, and I seriously hope it's not real, but damn! That must have been a stiff crutch shot. So, yeah. So, this was a pretty awesome show. Once again, this show proves why WWE main roster villages is not the place to be for nowadays. Like, oh my god. I already told you that the win-loss ratio between WWE and NXT is very freaking lopsided. And let's be honest, Royal Rumble's not going to win. It's over. It's not going to win this year again. It's not going to beat NXT TakeOver Philadelphia unless they have balls and goes ahead and does something unexpected, which considering what the plans have been said are going to happen for WrestleMania this year, that's not going to happen. So, everyone get ready for for a guaranteed, most likely going to be disappointing Royal Rumble. So, oh, and it gets even worse with the fact that Roman Reigns is entering the Royal Rumble match. So, considering he's going to fight Brock Lesnar, it seems we're not going to get Finn Balor winning. Sad. So, those were my thoughts on NXT TakeOver Philadelphia to the extreme. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the Royal Rumble video.